Welcome back to another episode with Kinesis PT and Performance. My name is Ryan. I am a physical therapist, strength conditioning professional, and I'm going to be walking us through some knee biomechanics today, specifically explaining how your knee moves may be causing you some knee pain. So stay tuned, check it out. Hopefully we can answer some questions for you. All right, so if you've checked out our ankle and foot biomechanics video, you understand that how your ankle and foot moves is going to affect the entire kinetic chain, meaning everything above it in your leg. A quick review, if you haven't seen that, if we are talking about pronation, so the medial arch of my foot rolling in or my foot flattening out, what we get is tibial internal rotation, and we can create a valgus moment at the knee. If we are going into what we call eversion or supination, where my arch is actually rising, my tibia is going to externally rotate and we can start to create more of a varus moment at the knee. So keep those in mind as we are moving forward and we're talking about how we are doing certain motions, whether it's stepping up, sitting down, lunging, squatting, running, what have you. Understand the way your ankle foot is moving is going to affect how your knee and hip are also moving. They are interdependent on one another. So as we talk about something as simple as stepping up, like you're going up the stairs, as you bring your foot up onto that step, what we want to see is your knee to be in line with the second toe of your foot. Okay, the second toe of your foot is the longitudinal axis of the foot. If I start to overpronate as I step up, my forefoot is going to move away from midline, what we call abduct, and now my knee is going to be falling inside my big toe. So when I step up, I'm going to be in this valgus alignment. You don't have to be a specialist or a doctor to look at my knee in this position and go, that probably doesn't look very good. So what we want to see is your knee track over the second toe of the foot as you go and step up. That keeps us in a nice biomechanical alignment. What it also does is it allows my hip to go into slight, what we'd call protraction and retraction, so my pelvis is moving, and that externally rotates the femur by engaging my glutes, so the powerhouse muscle back here, so I can equally distribute the load in between my quadricep and my hip extensors being my glute and hamstring when we go into that step up motion. If you're looking at me from the side, what that means is if I can keep everything equally distributed from the way my foot contacts, and I can get pelvic protraction and retraction to externally rotate the femur, engage my glute, when I step up, we're using both joints here, knee and hip. What we don't want to see is this type of thing where my heel is lifted and I'm not getting much excursion out of my hips. All it is my knee is driving and it's just a quadricep dominant motion. That places a ton of load through what we call the patellofemoral joint, meaning where your kneecap sits on your femur. We want that thing to be nice and secure, but not just because the quadricep is strong, but because the femur is in the right place. So your patella, imagine a bowling ball sitting in a gutter, okay? Your patella is the bowling ball, your kneecap's the bowling ball, your gutter is your femur. If the gutter's not lined up right, the patella is going to kind of clunk around in there, and we can get some patellofemoral pain syndrome, some kind of vague, insidious onset knee pain. Same thing can be said with this quad dominant pattern. If my heel's lifted and I go and step up, you can see people start to develop what is commonly called runner's knee or jumper's knee, some tendonitis here at the front of the knee, so patellar tendinopathy. That is something else that we pretty commonly see in the clinic just because people are not moving the right way. I personally have experienced this with a very minor movement deficiency. When I was in PT school, I was waking up at like 5 in the morning to drive downtown for my clinical rotation. In my parents' house, the driveway is super steep. So when I was getting in and out of my little Mazda 6, I was basically doing a single leg squat on a super steep hill, and my heel was not in contact with the ground. All of a sudden, I started to develop this very vague anterior knee pain, and I had no idea what was causing it. I was super strong, I was working out every day, and it didn't matter what rehab stuff I was doing, my knee didn't seem to get any better. And finally I realized one morning when I was getting into my car, oh my gosh, it's the way I'm getting in and out of my car. So instead of doing a little single leg squat and trying to dip in on a hill, what I actually did is sat down using 2 legs, Once my butt was seated on the car, then I rotated in, and guess what? My knee pain disappeared within a week, and there was no rehab needed. So that's a long-winded explanation, but the way you move is going to affect the health of your knee. We need to make sure you're moving correctly so that we are not causing excess stress to be placed on any structures in the knee. When you have proper ankle-foot biomechanics, when you have proper pelvic control and rotation, so that our knee can be in an optimal position to perform. Please reach out if you have any questions, and if you know somebody who could benefit from this information, please share this video with them. Thanks for watching.